Hello and welcome back to Easy English with James. Today we're going to learn all about the letter G. Okay, the letter G is the 7th letter in the English alphabet. It's the 5th consonant letter. And if you want to know how many ways there are to pronounce this letter in English, stick with me. Let's have a look. Okay, let's begin. The letter G is part of my alphabet series, A to Z, where I teach you how many different ways there are to pronounce every letter in English. If you want to see more of these lessons, check out the description below where you'll find all of the letters that come before G. Okay, so let's start with the letter G. In the alphabet, it's pronounced G, 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 okay? It looks like this, and it's pronounced here with a J, J, J sound, okay? Practice with me. J, J. How do we make this sound, I wonder? Okay, take your tongue, your tip of your tongue, and you put it on your alveolar ridge, and then you use your vocal cords and build pressure and push your tongue down. Watch closely. J. So your tongue starts up here, J, and it finishes down here. J, J, J. Okay? It's a very similar position to the CH. Ch, ch. The only difference here is that your vocal cords are vibrating. It's a voiced sound. J, J, J. Okay? Practice with me again. J, J, J. So when we're pronouncing G, we're saying J and E. G, G, G. But you might know that outside of the alphabet, the letter G doesn't always sound like G. Okay, you probably know that it also sounds like G, G, and sometimes J, J. Okay? So let's learn about all the ways that we can pronounce this letter in English. So, number one, we already heard. Number one is the J, J sound, where your tongue starts on your alveolar ridge, your vocal cords vibrate, and you push your tongue down. J, J. But what is the rule for this? What is the rule for when we pronounce the letter G like J? What are the rules for this? Okay, now the letter G in English is a bit of a crazy letter because there are some rules, but sadly there are many exceptions to the rules. There are many breakers of those rules. Okay, so my advice is to watch this lesson and learn the rules, but if you're learning a new word that begins or contains the letter G, make sure you double check the pronunciation because this letter can be a little bit tricky. There are some general rules, but there are lots and lots of exceptions. So for example, take the J sound, okay? Normally, the letter G is pronounced with a J when it comes together with E, I, or Y. So that means when you see the letter G and the next letter is an E or an I or a Y, normally that means we pronounce that letter G with a J, J, J sound. Okay, one important thing to remember is that this J sound is sometimes called the soft G. The soft G, okay? The hard G is the G, which we're going to learn later. But the J is sometimes called the soft G, okay? Okay, let's start by having a look at G and E, G and I, and G and Y. So, G and E together. Can you think of any words with G and E? Words like general. If we're talking about G and E at the beginning of a word, general, general, or gene, Gene, as in it's in your genes, okay? Someone who's really, really clever is a genius. A genius. You could say Einstein was a genius. Listen carefully. G, genius. You've got that G-E-nius, genius. He's a genius, okay? Genius and general and gene. Also, gentleman. Gentleman and gentle, okay? He's a gentleman. He is a real gentleman, okay? Okay, what about when GE comes at the end of a word, like in age, or rage, or fudge, or nudge, okay? Words that end in DGE, or just GE, nearly always have this j sound, okay? Look at things like ridge, or hedge, or age, rage, stage, okay? All of them finish in that j sound, okay? The E on the end is actually silent. So we have that j as the final sound. Let's practice. Age, age, rage, rage, stage, stage, and nudge, nudge. Nudge means to bump someone out the way. If you're walking in the street and you nudge someone, you push them out the way gently. You might nudge someone at work if you want to talk to them. You just give them a nudge, and say, hey, what's up? A nudge, okay? Nudge. Okay, practice those words again until you've really got that j sound. And remember, at the beginning, it sounds like this. General, gentleman, okay, and genius. Let's try a practice sentence with this one. The general told the gentleman about the gems. The general told the gentleman about the gems. You can hear that j. General, gentleman, gems. The general told the gentleman about the gems. Say that as fast as you can and you'll really get a really good idea and a good way to practice them. General, gentleman, gems. The general told the gentleman about the gems. Okay? Next one is the sage and the mage wrote my age on the page. The sage and the mage, both of them magical things, the sage and the mage wrote my age on the page. Okay? This should make sure that you remember that GE at the end of words is nearly always pronounced J. Okay? The sage and the mage wrote my age on the page. Your turn. Okay? Practice that again and again and again. Okay, and the last one is the large 3D bridge was generated by a genius. The large 3D bridge was generated by a genius. Now, don't worry, I know some of the vocabulary here is difficult, but it will really help you with your pronunciation. Try again. The large, big 3D bridge was generated, that means made on a computer normally, by a really clever person, by a genius. The large 3D bridge was generated by a genius. Have a go, your turn. Okay, well done. Let's move on to the next bit. Okay, as I said to you, remember that the rule here is that G and E together normally means the G sounds like J. But English is a little bit crazy, and the rule for this has a lot of exceptions. So probably you were thinking, wait a minute, G plus E in the word together, that's not a J, that's a G. Together. Also in tiger, the animal, tiger. Okay, and even in small words like get, I get something from my friends, okay? Do you get this? Get. So there are a lot of exceptions, okay? Get and together and tiger are examples of times when the G and E don't make that J sound. So be careful and make sure that you do like I said, which is always double check the word that you're learning first, okay? Let's have a look at the next rule. Okay, so G plus E, the G is normally J. What about G plus I? G and I together also means that the G is usually J, J. Think about words like gin or giraffe or giant. Gin, giraffe and giant, okay? G and I at the beginning of a word. Gin, giraffe and giant. Some examples of G and I in the middle or at the end of words are things like engine, engine, like a car engine or a motorbike engine. Gin. Can you hear that J again? Engine. Not engine or engine, but engine. J, J, J. Engine. Region. Region is the place where you live. I live in this region. He lives in that region. Okay? And also words like magic. Magic. Okay? Often where you see that G, I and C come together in words like magic or strategic. Okay? Strategy and strategic. Strategic and magic both end in G-I-C. And nearly always in English that means that G is pronounced J. Another example here is logic. Logic. Okay? Logic. Logic. Okay? A really good word to practice both G and E and G and I is the word ginger. Now, I like ginger. I like to put ginger in a lot of foods that I eat. I think it tastes really nice. I also like to drink ginger tea. Okay, I love ginger tea. So, you might notice that in the word ginger, you have G and I and G and E. And the pronunciations follow the rules in this lesson. G and I, gin, gin, and then G-E-R, ger, ginger, ginger. Okay, in my British pronunciation, we pronounce this ginger, gin, ger, ginger. Okay, do you like ginger tea? What's your favourite drink to drink that's hot? Coffee, tea? I like ginger. Love ginger tea. Okay, practice with me. Ginger. 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 Okay, well done. Try this practice sentence. The gigantic aging giant had magic gingerbread. The gigantic means really big. The gigantic aging giant had magic gingerbread. Okay, one more time, you try. The gigantic aging giant had magic gingerbread. Your turn. Okay? Or number 2, try this. The religion's origin is in this region. This is a more difficult sentence. The religion's origin is in this region. That means the religion came from this part of the world, okay? The religion's origin is from this region, okay? The religion's origin is from this region. It's quite difficult to say this very fast. The religion's origin is from this region, okay? You give it a go. The religion's origin is from this region. Okay? Okay, so 2 really common exceptions to this are words like girl and give. You'll notice again that G and I here do not have the J, okay? They are exceptions. G-I here in girl and G-I in give have that G pronunciation, which we will learn in a minute. But they are exceptions. The normal and usual rule is that when you see G and I together, especially in longer words, it will often be pronounced that J, J, okay? Strategic, logic, okay? Or gin, Okay, so make sure that you practice the J sound, but also remember that some words, especially words like girl and give, which are very common, are exceptions to this rule. Okay, what about G and Y? The rule was G plus E, G plus I, and G plus Y. G plus Y follows the same rule, which means normally it's pronounced J. Often J, okay, like in gyro, 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 okay? Or you might go to do some exercise in a gym, gym, okay? The pronunciation of the Y changes to I there, gym, gym. But the G, as you can hear, is a J, gym, 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 and gyro. You'll see this at the end of words like energy, energy, and apology, apology, okay? Also words with DGY at the end, like edgy or dodgy, okay? Dodgy is something that's not normal, not right. That looks very strange. It's dodgy, okay? It's a bit dodgy. If I say to you, I have an iPhone and I will sell you this iPhone for just $1, that's dodgy, okay? Very, very British English, but that's dodgy. Something is not right about that price. It's dodgy, okay? Ends in DGY, G, okay? Dodgy, edgy, but also, as we said, energy and apology. When you give someone an apology, you say sorry to them. Apology, okay? The big exception to this rule is when you see GGY, okay? So when you see GY, like energy, it's normally J. But when you see GGY, then we change the pronunciation. Usually, this time, it's that G sound again, like in eggy, or doggy, or soggy, okay? Soggy is wet on the ground. The ground is soggy, okay? Soggy, doggy, and eggy, like an eggy smell in here, okay? Eggy. So when you see g or gg, normally it's pronounced with that hard g sound, not the softer j, okay? Eggy, doggy, and soggy, okay? Try this crazy sentence if you want to practice that GY sound. The prodigy studied biology, ecology, and geology. Lots of j in there. Try again. The prodigy studied biology, ecology, and geology. The prodigy studied biology, ecology, and geology. Lots, okay? Have a go. The prodigy studied biology, ecology, and geology. Your turn. Okay, well done. Practice that as many times as you need to until you can say it exactly like me, okay? Until you can say, the prodigy studied biology, ecology, and geology, okay? Another practice sentence, a little short practice sentence, is this one. Egyptians are from Egypt. Egyptians are from Egypt. Okay? Egyptians are from Egypt. You can say that as fast as you can. Egyptians are from Egypt. Egyptians are from Egypt. Now, are any of my students from Egypt? If you are from Egypt, write your name in the comments below. I would love to know. It's one of my favorite countries and I've always wanted to visit, okay? Egyptians are from Egypt. One final practice sentence with this one is the energy of the gymnast at the gym. The energy of the gymnast at the gym. Okay, that'll help you to remember that GY is often pronounced with that J. The energy, G, of the gymnast at the gym. That will definitely make sure you remember gym. Okay, gym, gym. Okay, so remember the letter G plus the letter E, the letter G plus the letter I, and the letter G plus the letter Y normally means that you pronounce that letter G as a J, J sound, okay? With some small exceptions, okay? Before we move and look at the next way to pronounce this letter, I want to ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you are enjoying this lesson, if you're learning something, hit like, leave a comment and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and more students around the world to improve their pronunciation. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can also ask them in the comment section and I will try to answer you as quickly as possible. Okay, so what is the next way to pronounce this letter G in English? The first way is J, but actually that's not the most common way to pronounce this letter. The most common way to pronounce this letter is G. G, G, okay? Much more common than J. In fact, most of the time when you see the letter G in English, it will be pronounced G, G, G. This is a little bit more difficult because here, the back of your tongue is going up to the back and roof of your mouth, the top of your mouth, and it's blocking the air from coming out. You're vibrating your vocal cords like this, and then release, G, G, G. The front of your tongue stays down. It's just the back of your tongue at the back of your mouth that stops the sound. G, 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 okay? G. Look at all the words in English like girl or give or get or go or together or again. All of them have that G, 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 G sound, okay? It's really common and many other languages have it as well. So hopefully it's not too strange for you. G, 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 okay? One important thing to remember is that sometimes at the end of words, this strong G sound is not always so strong. We actually say that it is less aspirated. Less aspirated. That means that we're not using as much air. We're not blowing as much air. It's not so aspirated. There is a big difference here between American pronunciation, many accents in the USA, and many accents in England or the UK, where I'm from, okay? In the UK, we normally always aspirate the letter G, the strong G sound. So in the word egg, egg, you'll hear the G at the end. Egg, egg, the egg. Also in the word big, big, the big dog, the nice egg, okay? But in many American accents, they don't have that G sound really strong at the end of a word. Instead, they make the G sound, but they don't blow air. They just go G like that. Listen, the egg, big, egg, big, okay? It's a little bit more difficult for me to do because I'm not from the USA, but it's basically the G without blowing air. It's G like that. Egg, big, okay? The big dog. So an American might say something like the big dog. And that is without that aspirated G sound that you would hear in British English, the big dog. The big dog, okay? So remember, sometimes you will hear a really strong G, and other times, especially in some American accents, you'll hear it a little bit softer, okay? So when is the letter G pronounced with a G? As we heard before, the letter G is pronounced G when it comes with a consonant, especially with L or R. Let's look. G and L. G and L words like glad, glad, or glass, glass, and glow, 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 okay? Glad, glass, and glow. And then GR words like green or grass or grow, green, grass, grow, okay? Gl and gr. Remember again, we don't say gras, we say grass, all together, okay? Don't say grass, it's grass. Make sure you get that g and r. I know that the mouth looks like they are different sounds, like g over here and r over there, but gr, all together, grass, great, grim, grumpy, okay? All words with g and r together. GL, glass, glad, glamping, okay? All of these words also have that g and l together. Gl and gr. Here is a great sentence if you want to practice that GR and GL combination, okay? Try this. Grumpy Glenn's grey glove is great. Grumpy Glenn's grey glove is great, okay? Try and say it really fast. Grumpy Glenn's grey glove is great. Grumpy Glenn's grey glove is great. And it'll really help you get that gr and gl together. Perfect, okay? Grumpy Glenn's grey glove is great. You try it. Okay, well done. Or you can try this sentence. The green glowing globe grew grandly. The green glowing globe grew grandly. The green glowing globe grew grandly, okay? It's a good one. It's a bit of a tongue twister. The green glowing globe grew grandly, okay? And finally, try this one really, really fast. The green graffiti was grim. Just the gr. The green graffiti was grim. The green graffiti was grim. The green graffiti was grim. Okay? Practice with me. The green graffiti was grim. The green graffiti was grim. Okay? So, the letter G with a consonant like L or R is usually pronounced G. But also, the letter G at the end of a word is also pronounced G. Think of words like dog, dog, and fog, fog, or twig and pig. Okay, they all end in the letter G and they all have that G pronunciation. Fog and dog and twig and pig. Okay, fog, dog, twig, pig. Make sure you get that G at the end. Okay? Okay, so fog, dog, log, twig and pig all end in that hard G sound. But just like always in English, there is an exception to this rule too. If the word you're looking at ends in ing, like ing, then the pronunciation is not G. It does not end in G. It actually ends in a really special sound in English. The only time we use this sound in English, it ends in ng, okay? Listen to the middle of words like singing. In that word, we're not saying singing, we're saying singing. Singing, singing, or ringing, ringing, okay? Or banging, banging, okay? The sound that is sometimes used here, and it's not used in every British or American accent. There are some accents that will say banging, and some accents will say singing, but at least in my accent, it's very common to use this special way of ng. Vietnamese students will know this sound because it is a very common sound in Vietnamese. Ng, okay? Ng. It's an N and a G together, okay? The symbol in the International Phonetic Alphabet looks like this. Ng. Sing. Okay, listen carefully. Sing. Sing. Ring. Ring. Bang. Bang. Okay? Singing. Ringing. Banging. Okay? But remember, that is pretty much the only time in English where you will hear that ng sound. It is not very common at all, okay? Only in words where you hear ing, and not in all English accents, okay? There are many English accents that will just say g. They'll use the g there too. Singing and ringing and banging, okay? But it's very important because if you're watching TV, if you're traveling and you meet someone with an accent like mine, they will say singing, not singing, okay? So remember that rule. The letter G is also pronounced with a hard G when it is followed by the letter A. This is very common, okay, in words like game, or yoga, okay? Yoga or mega store, when you go to the mega store. The word give in the past is gave, okay? Game, gave, mega, and yoga, okay? You can see there that the letter G is pronounced G when it is before the letter A, when it comes together with the letter A. Practice with me. Game, gave, mega, and yoga, okay? Try this practice sentence if you want to master G and A together. Gavin gave the game back to the megastore again. Gavin gave the game back to the megastore again. Okay? Gavin gave the game back to the megastore again. Make sure that when you're practicing these sentences, try and listen carefully to the rhythm that I say, the stress that I put on different words. Gavin gave the game back to the megastore again. Okay? The more you do that, the more you'll start to have a natural feel for how English sounds. Gavin gave the game back to the megastore again. Okay? It's a little bit like learning to rap or learning the beat of the language. Okay? Gavin gave the game back to the megastore again. Okay? Okay, what about G and O? G plus O, as we know, can also have that G pronunciation for the letter G. G and O, go. Okay, G and O on its own makes the word go. Go. Also gone, or good, or even Google. Okay, Google. Google is a really good word to practice because goo is G and O, and as we learned before, G and L is another time where the G is pronounced G. So in Google, you have two instances, two cases of G. Google, okay? G followed by O, G. G followed by L, G too, okay? Google. So practice with me. Google. Okay? G plus O at the beginning of words like good or gone or Google is very common. But G plus O is also very common in the middle of words like dragon. Dragon, as in a flying, fire-breathing dragon. Dragon. Also in the word forgot. Very common word. I forgot. Forgot. I forgot that word. I forgot how to pronounce this. I forgot my name. I forgot what I'm doing. I forgot. Okay? I forgot. Practice with me. I forgot. You can actually practice this by going through all of the different pronouns. I, he, she, we, you, and they. Try I forgot, he forgot, she forgot, you forgot, they forgot, and we forgot. Okay? I forgot, you forgot, he forgot, she forgot, we forgot, they forgot over there. Okay? If you practice that, it'll help you learn the grammar of I, he, she, we, they, and you, and it will also help you master the pronunciation of G. I forgot. Okay? I forgot. Remember, all language learning is basically repeating stuff enough times. When you were a baby and you kept saying words, that's how you became really good at your language. So just practice this as many times as you can. I forgot, he forgot, she forgot, they forgot, we forgot, and you didn't forget. Okay, hopefully. Let's move on. Try this practice sentence. The golden dragon is gone from Google. You searched for a golden dragon and it's not there. The golden dragon is gone from Google. I can't find it anymore. The golden dragon is gone from Google. The golden dragon is gone from Google. Okay, the letter G is nearly always pronounced G when it comes with the letter U, okay? In words like gun, or guard, or guilty, or guitar, okay? Nearly always when you see the letter G followed by the letter U, or together with the letter U, it will be pronounced G. G, gun, G, guitar, guard, and guilty. Try this practice sentence. The bad guy took the gun from the guard. The bad guy took the gun from the guard. The bad guy took the gun from the guard. Or try this sentence. The guide was guilty of gutting the guitar. The guide was guilty of gutting the guitar. Gutting here means like destroying and pulling apart. It's really broken. He gutted something. It means he took it apart and destroyed it. The guide was guilty of gutting the guitar. The guide was guilty of gutting the guitar. Okay? Okay, one other time where we can pronounce the letter G as a G is when it's followed by the letter H. And the reason this is a little bit special is because when G is at the beginning of a word and it's followed by the letter H, it means the H is silent, okay? And the G is pronounced G, okay? Think of words like ghost, ghost, or ghetto, ghetto, and even gherkin, gherkin. Okay, G followed by H, but the letter H there is silent. Okay, ghetto, gherkin, and ghost, a scary ghost. Okay, ghost, ghetto, and gherkin. So try this practice sentence. The ghastly ghetto was full of ghoulish ghosts. The ghastly ghetto was full of ghoulish ghosts. Okay, the ghastly ghetto was full of ghoulish ghosts. And remember that G plus H at the beginning of a word means that the H is silent and the G is pronounced G. G. Okay, well done. Okay, so G and H at the beginning of words is normally G. But G and H at the end of words can be very, very difficult because G and the H at the end of a word has many different pronunciations, okay? There are many ways to pronounce G and H at the end of a word. Think of words like rough, rough, and cough, cough, okay? Rough and cough finish in GH, but they have that f, the letter F. They finish in a f sound. Cough, as in cough, cough. So sometimes G and H at the end of a word can be pronounced f, as in cough, and rough, okay? So practice these words. Cough, rough, tough, enough, and laugh, laugh, okay? Cough, rough, tough, enough, and laugh, okay? Laugh. All of those finish in that f sound. Laugh, okay? Enough. So remember, sometimes G and H together at the end of a word can be a f, okay? But sometimes the GH at the end of a word can also be completely silent. That means the G and the H are both silent. Think of words like high, high up, okay? High on a mountain, high. It ends in GH, but it's silent. Often words that are really short that have IGH, like high or sigh. Sigh is when you just go, sigh. And also nigh, which is a really old English word that we don't use very much anymore, but it follows the rule. IGH, silent GH. I, nigh, high, sigh, okay? But you might also know words like through, as in going through something. through ends in GH and the GH is silent. Though, even though, or although, okay? Both end in GH again, but it is silent. So remember, sometimes GH at the end of a word can be the letter F, the F sound, but sometimes it can be completely silent. And sadly, there aren't really many rules for this. You just have to learn the pronunciation each time you learn a new word, okay? There are some like IGH is usually I, sigh, hi, means both are silent, but it's much better and much safer if you learn a new word, check the pronunciation first to see whether it's completely silent or it's a hard G or it has that F sound like in cough and rough, okay? Try this practice sentence. I might have caught the night flight though. I might have caught the night flight though. I might, silent GH, have caught, another silent GH, the night, another silent GH, flight, another silent GH, and though at the end is a little filler word that we put at the end of sentences, okay? I might have caught the night flight though. I might have caught the night flight though. See if you can say that like me. I might have caught the night flight though. I might have caught the night flight though. I might have caught the night flight though. Okay? Or you can try this sentence. The 8 lights helped my eyesight at night. The 8 lights helped my eyesight at night. The 8 lights helped my eyesight at night. Okay? You'll see that GHT there. Very, very common GHT for the G and the H to be silent. Okay? Okay, there is another way to pronounce the letter G in English, but this one is not very common. It is usually in words borrowed from French, okay? In words borrowed from French. This pronunciation of the letter G is super soft, okay? It sounds like this. Je, 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 okay? Think of when you say the CH, 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 ch. It's nearly the same mouth position as the CH in words like chat or chip, okay? Ch. But this time we're voicing it and we're saying je, 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 okay? Je, je, je. This is not common in English, okay? As I said, it is normally only in words borrowed from French. Let's have a look at some of those words. So, words that come from French like genre, genre, okay? Genre. It's a strange one, but it is a word that the French also use, and they will also pronounce it nearly the same. Genre, okay? Also in colours like beige, beige, and rouge, rouge, okay? Rouge. Okay, so we also have the silent G. When is G silent in English? There are 3 times when the letter G is silent in English. The first is when the G is paired with the letter N. When you see G and N together, like in the word gnome, gnome, or gnarl. But this is more common when it's at the end of a word, like design, or resign, or even foreign. He's a foreigner, okay? The G in there is silent because it comes before the letter N. So G and N, the G is nearly always silent, okay? Design, resign, and foreign. Also, as we saw before, the G and the H together mostly means that the G will be silent, okay? Like in words like night, or fright, or high, or sigh, or way, okay? In all of those, the G and the H are together, so the G and the H are both silent, okay? At the beginning of words, remember, G and H means that the H is silent and the G is pronounced G, like in ghost, okay? Ghost. But G and a H together very often, like in the word high or sigh or way, means that both the G and the H are silent. Okay, finally, the G is always silent when it comes before the letter M. okay, the letter M, in usually scientific words or medical words. So things like phlegm, that's the sticky stuff that comes in the back of your throat, okay? Or diaphragm, that's the thing here that helps you breathe in and out, your diaphragm, okay? But also in other more advanced words like paradigm, a new paradigm, okay? A new paradigm means a new way to think about something or a new era. Paradigm, phlegm, and diaphragm, okay? So G and M together often means the G is silent. Okay, so let's look again. We have the letter G in the alphabet. That is pronounced G, and we use the J sound for that, J. When do we normally use J? It's when we see the letter G with E, I, or Y, like in gin or general or gyro, okay? Then we have the G sound, G. This we find in words where G comes with a consonant, like glow or grow, or with the letter A in gas, or with the letter O in gone, or with the letter U in gun, okay? And when it's at the end of words like fog and dog and twig, okay? So we've got the J and we've got the G. But we also have that weird ng sound when it's in the middle of words like singing and ringing, okay? That's a very rare sound and it's very difficult to make, but ng. And then finally we have the French loanword sound, which is the super soft G in words like rouge, okay? Or beige, or even prestige, okay? In all of these words, we have that j sound, j, okay? Which is very rare, but in French loanwords, it does exist. Then we have the G and the H together, which can make a f sound, like in cough, or rough, or tough. Then we have GH, which is completely silent, like in high, or sigh, or night, or wait. And again, we have G and N, usually means the G is silent in gnome, or gnarl, or foreign, or design. And the G and M together, which also usually means the G is silent in things like diaphragm, phlegm, and paradigm. Okay? Okay, so let's have a test. I want you to look at these 5 words, okay? This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. One of these words has a hard G sound, but only one of those words. I want you to write in the comments which one of those 5 words has the hard G sound. 4 of those words have the J sound, but only one of them has the G sound. So, if you know the answer, write that in the comments below, okay? Now, let's try some tongue twisters. These are things that are going to really help you to get the pronunciation of the letter G absolutely perfect, okay? Number 1, the great green grass grew greener and greener. The great green grass grew greener and greener. Okay, the faster you say it, the harder it is. The great green grass grew greener and greener. The great green grass grew greener and greener. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, Glenn gave good guns to the general. Glenn gave good guns to the general. Glenn gave good guns to the general. Lots of hard G sounds in there. Glenn gave good guns to the general. Number 3, Gail's great glass globe glows green. Gail's great glass globe glows green. Gail's great glass globe glows green, okay? Gail's great glass globe glows green. And finally, the last one looks simple. Greek glowing grapes. But I want you to try and say this as fast as you can and as many times as you can, okay? Greek glowing grapes. Sounds easy, but if you say this really fast, Greek glowing grapes, Greek glowing grapes, Greek blah, 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 it's a really good tongue twister, okay? And the longer you can do that for, the better your pronunciation of G and Gr and Gl will be. Okay, so practice all of those tongue twisters and hopefully you'll have perfect g, j, gl and gr pronunciation afterwards. Okay? Okay, now as a bonus part to this lesson, you lucky students, we're going to have some super long, super advanced words with the letter G so that you can show off to your teacher the next time you're in your English class. Okay? Number one, generalization. Generalization. You'll remember G followed by E is usually j, j. So we have generalization, okay? Generalization. To make a generalization is to say something that is generally true, okay? You might say, people in England speak English. That is a generalization because not everyone speaks English. There may be one person or two people who don't speak English. A generalization, okay? You might say, people from America all like hamburgers. That's a generalization. There are many people in America who don't like hamburgers, okay? It's a generalization. So number one, generalization. Okay, number two is gravitationally. Gravitationally. This word comes from the word gravity. In gravity, you've got that g and r. Remember, G and R together is G and consonant, so it's pronounced with that hard g. Gravitationally. It's the adverb of gravitation, which is the force that connects everything together and pulls you down to the ground. Gravitationally. Gravitationally. Try and pronounce it. Gravitationally. Gravitationally. Okay? Number three is gastronomically. Gastronomically, okay? Gastronomically is the adverb form of gastronomy. Gastronomy is basically cooking, okay? Gastronomically, gastronomy, gastronomically, okay? Again, this word starts with G-A. So what do we do with G-A? We pronounce the G with a G sound again. Gastronomically, okay? Okay, and finally, number four is gentlemanliness. Gentlemanliness. Gentlemanliness is the sort of noun form of gentlemanly. Gentlemanly. Gentlemanliness is the existence of people or things being gentlemanly. So you might say there's a lot of gentlemanliness in England. Men like to hold the door open for women, okay? There's a lot of gentlemanliness. Gentlemanliness, okay? Okay, one final bonus part to this lesson. We're going to have a look at two crazy words in English. Both of them have the letter G, but nobody can decide how exactly we should pronounce these words. Even native English speakers argue about how these words should be pronounced, okay? The first one is the word garage. Now, you probably think, that's exactly how you pronounce that, garage. But many, many people will say garage. It's in my garage. It's in my garage. Others might say my garage. So there's garage, there's garage, and there's garage. All are ways that we can pronounce this word, garage. Okay, where I'm from, most people say garage. Okay, but some people definitely say garage. It's in the garage. Okay, garage, garage, and garage. Okay. The next one is this word. This word means graphics interchange format. You know it because probably if you've used the internet, you've seen one of these moving images. Okay, they're very, very famous. We like to send each other funny ones of these when you want to make your friends laugh. Okay, but in English, about 50%, it's about a 50-50 divide between people who say GIF and people who say GIF when they see this word, okay? The creator, the inventor of this word, he said it should be GIF. And many people said, no, I say GIF, GIF. What do you say? Do you say GIF or GIF? Write that in the comments below. I say GIF, okay? In my accent, we pronounce this GIF, GIF. But there are a lot of people who would disagree with me and say it should be GIF. Okay? Both of them are perfectly fine. GIF or GIF. Okay, thank you very much for watching this lesson. I really hope you learned a lot today. I'm very, very happy that you hopefully have improved your pronunciation of the letter G. If you like this lesson, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more of my lessons, make sure you have subscribed, okay? That's that little red button down there. And you can hit the notification icons to see more. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, okay? Thank you very much. Have a good day. I will see you again for another lesson. Bye-bye.